Hello out there, YouTubers. It's been a while since I made my last video, but as you can see, I haven't done anything to the upper other than what I showed you on my last video. So today, that's what I'm going to be doing, is installing the barrel. But I wanted to show you some things that I had gotten, and one of the reasons why it took me so long to make this video. I got me a new scope here for it. It's a 6-24 by 50 millimeter scope, and it comes with a sunshade. I haven't shot with it yet, but I've been looking through it, and also it's got a dual illuminated reticle. It's a mil dot. Came with the scope mount, the scope, the sunshade, and the covers, and a battery, a bunch of batteries for this. And it also had a red laser that went on it. I'm not going to use that, but I got this off of eBay, and like I said, it's got a really clear picture. I don't know how it's going to hold up when I start shooting, but I only paid $66, right under $66 with shipping and handling and everything. And it's got for adjustment all the way out to infinity, from 150 yards to infinity. That's one of the things I've gotten. And I was thinking, well, what if I was out in the woods hunting with this rifle and something came up that was real close, I wouldn't be able to shoot it because I couldn't see it well enough with the scope on. So what I decided, I got these 45-degree offsets for the front and back. I already had this A2 sight right here, so I went ahead and got the front sight to go with it, and I'm going to put that, I'm left-handed, so I'll be going this way with it, instead of where most people would have it on this side of the rifle. I'm going to have it on this side of the rifle because I am left-handed. That way when I tilt it to the side, I'll be able to use it instead of trying to tilt it this way and shoot it. But I've gotten that. I originally only bought one of these because I found this. I think it's a 3/4 inch riser, because this thing just sits way too close to the rifle for my taste. And I seen it and it had a 45-degree on it, and I was like, I could put my scope on it and put the sight on it. And I can do that, although this sight is touching, this right here is touching the scope, but this sets up higher than this, and it's not centered right, as you can see. So I was like, dang it, if I'd known that, I wouldn't have bought this. So unless you're putting a scope on here and putting a micro red dot or something like that, I do not recommend getting this for the application that I'm using it for, because now this is really not what I'm looking for. So I am in the process of trying to find and save up for a different one, because with this on the back, this rides on to the front of this about right here, and in order to get it to work, I have to trim one of these almost completely off, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to alter the rifle like that. I've also thought about I thought about cutting this on front and back to make it shorter, and I was like, no, I don't want that ugly look of a raw aluminum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find me another one. I've also gotten this. This is my muzzle brake. I put in one. My nephew got one, and I was contemplating getting one of these, but he got one, and oh my goodness, does this thing work. As y'all know, I'm building the exact same rifle for my nephew that I'm building for myself. It's just his I'm not building, so videoing. So I've already built it and started shooting it, and wow, that's all I can say is I'm thoroughly impressed. This right here, it keeps the rifle flat. I mean, it works. So I really like this. But we learned a lesson on his. His came with a crush washer. Well, the design of this doesn't work well with a crush washer, because the crush washer doesn't want to sit on it right. So when we had to end up buying another crush washer, and the cut parts, faced them together where they squeezed out like this to make his work. Where mine, I bought mine with what they call a jam nut. So you screw it on to where it needs to be, and then you tighten this up against it to lock it into place. You want to see how that works after firing rounds through it and everything else. I might end up having to do what he done and get 2 crush washers to make it work. Also, I got me an Anderson lower to build for this rifle, the 6.5 Grendel. Well, I mocked it up. Can you hear that? And I don't know if you can see it, but I put just pins in, and it just wobbles back and forth. It's got a lot of play in it. It doesn't fit very well in the Anderson. So I got one of my other rifles out. This is for one of my other ARs I have. It's a Stag Arms lower. The Stag G15, or the Stag 15. And I put this on it. Oh, let me get the pin. Push the pins out. And with the pins installed, there's hardly any movement at all. Hardly any. It fits almost perfect. There's a place for a screw to come up to tighten this, so that'll get rid of all the rest of the play. I'm trying to find the screw. I haven't had any luck with it yet, so what I figured I'd do is take the lower to a like a True Value or somewhere like that, and see if they have a set screw that I can purchase that'll fit in it. But this one was already assembled. It had an ambidextrous mag release on it. I took that out. I'm leaving this in. I've taken the fire control group out because, like I said, I'm going to polish the hammer and with all the connecting surfaces between the trigger and the hammer, and I'm going to put that lighter trigger spring and disconnector spring in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video of me building this to replace this for my other rifle. So that's what's been going on with me and why I've been, and also I've been looking. I told some people that I wanted a certain tool for Christmas, and they got me the wrong kind. What I wanted was a crow's foot that I could put on here so I could get the exact torque for the barrel. The only way I've been able to find one is through a complete set, and they're way over $100, and I can't see spending $100 or more for one single tool that I can't see it. So I'm just going to go back to the way I did it before by feel. But I've also got these. I know y'all have seen these on the Suits channel. That's where I first seen them, and I was thoroughly impressed. I'd gotten these for Christmas, but I didn't pay what everybody else is paying through Brownells and stuff like that, because I priced them. And yeah, they may be a little better build quality. I noticed one thing on these, that they're marked wrong. This is not the right leg. This is the left. This is the left leg. And this is not the left leg. It is the right leg. But it could be, considering which way you look at it. If you're looking down the barrel of the rifle at the muzzle end, then yeah, this would be the left and this would be the right. But anyway, I got those off of Geek. I got my nephew a set and we put his on his, and wow, they really work. It makes it for a really stable. I've got a hairstyle bipod, and like he said in the video, Such said in the video, the cling and everything else, and the weight. This is not heavy at all. The heaviest part is this aluminum part, and it don't add a whole lot of weight to the rifle, which with the heavy barrel, the 20-inch barrel and everything else, the scope, that's going to be a heavy rifle, so I wanted to go with certain light components, and these work great. So this is the end of this video. The next video will be me putting the barrel on the upper receiver, along with the gas block and the gas tube, which, by the way, on my last video I didn't say I got both of these at Classic Firearms. I'm going to say 70%. No, that's not a fair statement. 60% of my rifle, yeah, 60% of my rifle I gotten from Classic. They're a great company to buy from. They've got some of the most reasonable prices on a lot of their products. Some of their products, like any store, they're a little more than I'm willing to pay, but that's me. I'm a cheapskate. I try to get off as cheap as I can with the quality that I expect out of the product. And so far, I've gotten a lot of products fairly cheap. Like these, I got off of eBay for like $5 a piece. So, and they look like they're really made. This I got for $10 at a gun store, because when they bought it, it had all kind of scratches and stuff on it where the finish, where the person they bought a bunch of these from, they just threw them loosely in a bag and they rubbed up against each other. I got this for $15, which is amazing. I paid less for this than I did for this. But anyway, I think I'd have to sit and do the math, but I think out of this whole rifle build, I'm going to have maybe $700 in it. I think maybe a little less. It's somewhere between $500 and $700. That's what I'm going to have in this rifle. So, as always, be safe, have fun, long live the Republic.